he's after us. Note on that thing. I don't need no note. I got the message from the knife.
In business, as in comedy and indeed nature and life itself, all entities undergo an evolutionary process. The first step in this process is variation. In a business context, we can think of these variations as the innovators or creative and experimental reproducers on our continuum, our Campbellian, nascent entrepreneurs. Leventhal notes a difference between blind and intentional variation behaviours. As the name suggests, intentional variation is the active, solution-oriented, progressive variation of ideas suitable to industry and business, generated within cultural and contextual boundaries. Conversely, our successful comedians are an example of blind variation at work. That is, a spontaneous and heterogeneous generation of ideas outside of these cultural and contextual constraints, usually only influenced by uncontrollable forces like luck, passion, or trial and error.
Please try to understand before one of us dies. I try. You're going to forget everything you know about Nitwit.
No, Dragonfly.
Dragonfly, yes.
Si. Eventually.
Hey Frank, think quick! I do too. Because then you got to take him to KFC. And the girl says, "Can I take your order?" Say, "Yeah, 4 Big Macs."
Our evolutionary process now marches on to selection. That is, the elimination of those variations that fail to best utilise resources at their disposal to achieve goals. Profit and longevity in business, laughter and audience attention in comedy, survival and reproduction in nature. We can see this occurring on 2 levels, micro and macro, with hints of blind and intentional theory creeping into the process. Micro-level selections take place within a business, influenced by government, union or lobby group pressures, through regulations or legislation, whereas macro-level selections would be typified by whole markets or communities showing preference for one good or service over another, blind selection by the market, intentional selection by business, industry or government. This comedic example highlights some blind, macro-level selection behaviour in that audiences will tend to respond favourably to comedic acts that mirror or satirise life itself, which is, by its very nature, undergoing a blind, macro-level evolutionary process.
Ooh, look! Ugly naked guy lit a bunch of candles.
Oh.
That had to hurt!
I'm going down to South, I'm gonna have myself a time.
Friendly faces everywhere, humble folks without temptation.
Going down to South, I'm gonna leave my woes behind.
Never parking day or night, people started howling never.
Dad! What is it? What's going on? I heard a noise. Is somebody downstairs?
As our beagle of evolution bounds its way down the driveway of life, its next encounter is with the inescapable collar of retention, or for those who like their definitions a little more dry and literal, a retention process that preserves the selected variations. Contextually, we can think of these as those animals that have best adapted to their surroundings for survival, or those businesses that have generated the best products, services, profits and goodwill for the market, employees, shareholders, and communities and consumers as a whole. This is brought to life through our comedic examples. These comedians or entertainment programs have been retained because they have best mirrored, parodied or satirised our society. They are those that have undergone the heterogeneous and spontaneous generations of ideas that is blind variation, survived a selection process at macro level by audiences, and have been retained by those audiences because of their inherent characteristics.
What's up? I'm Bruno. I'm
Herr Milan Fashion Week.
Ich am going to wear the jumpsuit made entirely out of Velcro.
You go out now.
Yeah. What is it?
Come me out of it. Take it, get this up.